Buongiorno, mia cara, bambino Montebaci. Hi, it's me, Poison, and I am saying hello. And hello, gaming archaeologist, in case you're still here. But buongiorno, mia cara, bambino Montebaci is good morning, my love. Many kisses for you, but in Italian. It's parcel tongue, also known as Italian. No, sometimes I forget that. So because I'm collegiately trained in vocals, in case you didn't know this, anyone who is collegiately trained in vocals can typically sing in multiple languages. I have sang in a total of 8 different languages. Of course, that typically includes um, what is it? Latin, because like just that ancient scripture-esque stuff. Um, Hymns. Of course, it includes Latin. And then if you're doing any kind of operatic training, you probably have sang in German. I mean, especially if you really are a big fan of comedic operas, which is my favorite type because they do what I call pop the bubble, which is like really high notes that are staccatos. I am actually, it's kind of funny. I am one of the only people in my state to receive a special state exemption for having to learn a new language because whenever they were talking, I was doing like all my tests for my like mental stuff. They were like, it would be cruel to make this person learn a new language because I have a hearing disability, a physical speech impediment, and also dyslexia in the processing department of my brain. And they're like, it would be cruel to make this person have to learn languages. Because even when I did speech therapy, I had to relearn how to speak English because the way that I was speaking English, which is the way that most people speak it, was not working. Um, I sounded like I was perpetually 3 years old because my my tongue just does not move that way. So instead, the way that I speak is I speak as though I'm going to sing, which means that my tongue is moving more in a downward motion than an upward motion, because when you sing, you want to not block the air path, which just so happens to be the way that my tongue moves best. Hello, Silver Sun. I hope you're doing well. But I will say, sometimes if I become hyper aware of it, I it my speech still gets messed up. Oh, and if I am like tipsy, the words they are being slurred. Speech is one of the first things to go because speech is such an active thought for me. I'm doing pretty good. I was struggling to decide what I wanted the cut of my outfit to be for the ink model, but right before a stream, I would say about an hour, I came to a realization of what I wanted to do. So, like, we have that process. Now, note, this ink VTuber model is gonna be one of my more intensive models, one of the ones that's gonna take me a hot second to do. This is because I'm going to hand animate the like materials on it, which is a lot for me to sign up for. But I think I've figured out how I can size everything correctly to where I can hand animate this outfit and have some really cool things. So I want to like animate the ink that's on the outfit in a way that's specific to the outfit. So part of what I'm doing on this stage of designing the outfit is kind of laying down the base of every single thing because most things are going to have some kind of like change to them in Unity. So I'm not worried necessarily about the shading. I mean, also because this is an ink VTuber model, we're focusing on making everything white, black, or gray. So I'm not having to spend any time thinking about what color things are going to be. So hopefully that will save me some good amount of time. But this is one of the first times where I'll use like true black and true white uh, in a design. I typically try to avoid them because they don't render well, but we're going for black and white, so... And I'm gonna add a purple, so if you've ever broken a pen apart and like had the ink spill out of the center, or if you used to, I used to draw with the ink, so I'd like break open the pen and then take off the top of the pen and then blow on it onto a piece of paper, and you get this really cool purpley black ink. We're going to give that same marbled purple effect to the ink once it's in Unity. In vroid, it's going to be black because adding, when it comes to my transparent effect, the closer to like white it is, the more visible it is. But when it comes to adding color to things, the darker it is, the easier it is to add color. So by having like super, super dark base materials, I can add color to that and like it take to the color better. Whereas like say if I'm doing a normal map, if it's black, a normal map serves zero purpose. But if it's white, a normal map will be what makes the fabric look like fabric. Because it's a light map, but if it's completely black, there's nothing for the light to do. Which is why we'll be using gradients as like the thing that makes the normal map still apply. But in vroid, it's going to be very flat. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to be working on designing the silhouette of the outfit a little bit. I have the cut of the dress, but I want to accessorize a bit. I'm also thinking of doing this thing that's like seen a lot in like high fashion, which is like hands. And we all know that hands are only seen in fashion of the high variety. Everyone else, handless. Um, no, but like hands as part of the outfit is what I mean. Which is also a little bit My Hero Academia, because there's that one guy with the hand like accessories. But we're doing it more in like a inky kind of way. Because again, I want this outfit to be very ink. Because the Warframe that's coming out is an artist Warframe that controls things using ink and makes things real based off how it paints. So I figured this would be a cool like excuse to do this very like inkwell inspired model. But I hope everyone else is doing well too. That being said, let's go ahead and switch to the live scene so I can show. Because I've seen this effect done on other people's artwork, and I just really like how it looks. I specifically remember seeing it in like a music video. That was like a club remix to a song. So one thing I want to do with this model is, if you can see, I have some red in the cheeks and some red in the eyes. I want that to kind of be a little bit of an off-putting vibe to it. Because like, it makes it a little bit, for one, it makes the darker parts of the outfit look even more like flat. But I like the amount of life it brings to the face. So we're gonna leave like this like red highlight here. And then we're going to leave like a little bit of red in the cheeks. Because I like that kind of stark. It makes it really pop. And I like the way that makes the face and the makeup pop also. Because we have this highlight across the cheek that kind of reshapes the shape of my face. And so it brings a lot more depth to the face. And now this is the only space where color is going to be present. Everything else we're going to keep in the black and white. I'm also going to change Jessica and Stephanie into paintbrushes because I want them to be more on theme with the outfit. And I think that's the first thing I'm going to work on, is turning them into paintbrushes. And I can also add in Wardo a particle effect to Jessica and Stephanie, where as the snakes move, they leave behind like a painted trail, which will be really cool. Like, I am inspired for this outfit, which is why it was so hard for me to kind of think of what I wanted to do, like, for the cut. But this is kind of the base cut right now. It's kind of in that poodle skirt 1950s era, I believe that, or it's 1960s, it's the poodle skirt. Um, but it's very much in a, like, I can't remember what the right phrasing is for it. But yeah, I was looking at different cuts of dresses before stream to try to figure out how I wanted the top to go. I'm also wanting to have some kind of ink effects come from the bottom part of this and migrate upwards. That's the part that I'm hand animating. I'm thinking of having two arms come up and have the hands wrap around the neck, kind of like a necklace, which will be making a path for that. I'm gonna move me over to the side. Oh, not you guys. You guys stay here. I'm going over here. But yeah, I like to have be on this side typically, so that way when I look this way, it's towards chat, because that's where chat is IRL. And then this way when I look left, which is where my monitor actually is, I'm looking towards it on screen too. I can also mirror my things, but then when I look to the left, either way, it still looks weird. But yeah, so that's the idea. And so that's what we're working on right now, is getting kind of like the idea of the silhouette, accessories, etc., how we want it to look. First, I'm going to switch Jessica and Stephanie to paintbrushes, I think. Because I think that's the next thing that's pretty easy about the look. And then, yeah, I do these in typical order of like easy. Oh, I did clean up my desktop a little bit, and my computer's running a lot faster now. Turns out if you have 1,000 things saved to your desktop, it actually really does bog down your system. It might be because it has to load everything that's on the desktop. That's how bad my desktop was. I had enough files saved directly on the desktop that it was affecting the load of the machine. Okay. I'm gonna take... Yeah, I just found that out. I've never had that be an issue before, and my Finder was taking forever to pull up as well, and I just found that out, that that's what was causing that. I had no idea that that was a thing. I'm gonna use this. But no one told me it was a thing. Um, oh, you know what I should do first? I should map out where this is gonna go. So let's go to extras, edit hairstyle. I'm gonna take this, move it one hairstyle down, take this, edit texture. So what I need to do is I need to map out where the hairs of the brush are going and where the brush of the brush is going. So I'm gonna do this in very flat colors. And don't worry, that's not the last time you'll hear me say that. I have about 8 more times. Okay. That looks about right. And then I want to take a silver band. And the rest of this can be white. And we're probably going to make it a gray. Yeah, that's right. Export. Now this is documents. It's fine. I've also started saving things more and like I've slowly began organizing things. I needed to grayscale a lot of my like base assets, so I created a folder for BL. That way I could have that. And if, you might ask why not BW, and that's because BL is funnier. Open. Okay. I'm gonna take new. Take this. This needs to be way thicker. There we go. And then I'm gonna take a paintbrush. Well, this, and I'm not gonna have it be the same level of gray, just a little bit lighter. And then I'm gonna take this section, new layer, and I want to maintain, now this is something to note for people who want to know how I do my more realistic hairstyles, because some of my hairstyles, like at the end, have like actual fringe and layers cut into it. This is how you do that. I like to map out where I want the fringe to be, and then I'm going to take a hairbrush that I have, something with a wide comb. Oh, whoops. That's why. Something like this, but a little bit wider if I can. That's perfect. So I'm going to come down here. And this I want to be closer to white than the other two are. And I'm going to do like this. And these are going to be the strands from the hairbrush. I mean, from the paintbrush. So it's going to be thicker at the end here. I mean, at the like base of this part, and get thicker and get thinner as it goes lower. And then I'm going to hide this backing. File. Save as. But yeah, no, my back, I still have some cleaning up to do. The next thing for me to organize on my desktop is the textures. Because right now I've just organized the normal maps. Okay. So if you see like how the end here's now got like the fringe space, you can do that with this part of the hair too. And if I wanted this to be regular hair, all I would do is like widen the base part of it. Okay. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to make this part thinner. This part wider. We're gonna just drag this down a little bit. Kind of like that. That's exactly how I want that to look. And in Wardo, what I'm going to do is at the very tip of this, I'm going to attach a particle effect. So that way, as it moves, it looks like it's painting in the air. I'm going to duplicate and then flip. There we go. And now because I duplicated and flipped, I am going to need to go to the bones and make sure that both sides are rigged. I go to this top part. And I'm going to make this part probably silver, like a metal. Because that will still maintain this gray aesthetic if I do silver. I will say my second monitor is still fairly bad when it comes to the desktop, but this monitor is not. I do wonder if some of my just main issues were just the fact that my desktop was covered in like different files, especially because most of it was pictures. I'm gonna want to like clean that up. There we go. And now Jessica and Stephanie are paintbrushes. Let's go to hair physics and see and make sure those are all good. Edit hair bounce. Yep. So I need to copy the stats on this one.
What a cruel fate.
Yes, snake hair brushes. I guess we can, you know what? No, we're gonna say that was probably still science. I transferred the consciousness of Jessica and Stephanie into paintbrushes. But hey, now they have like kind of magic. Snake hair. You know, I was talking to Raz about this earlier, but before digital art, a snake hair like a snake pin doesn't make sense. But after digital art, I could see maybe their scales being used in the production of like the draw pad like pin tips. Not that we need another animal product, but as like a non-scratch thing. Create bone group. So we're gonna go down to this. I'm gonna do probably 14 bones. Okay, so I was talking with someone in subreddit who was asking how I get the hair to move the way I do. The first answer is the urge to go ahead and just put as many bones as possible. You need to resist. And the reason for that is the material will start snapping a bit. Where's fixed point? Okay. So like, see how this kind of looks like it's like a beaded line? You don't want it to look like beads. You want to reduce it until you can kind of see the full structure of each bone. Well, each joint in the bone. And once you can see each section, that's when you can actually like play with it a little bit. And like for the purpose of these paint brushes, I want the tip here to pretty much be all one bone. So that way it moves a bit together. So I'm gonna do 13 bones and I'm gonna move it up until I get, ooh, no, this is actually really good to have this joint the metal band to be one joint. So, and then the paintbrush to be the part that like can wiggle a little bit. So I think this is how I want to have this. So that's 13.14. So we're going to go 13. And then what's this one? 0.14. Point 141. That should give me that same kind of like tip. Because it bends at each of these joints. Gravity and hit radius is kind of important. For the sake of these paintbrushes, they're rather thin, so this is perfect. But for like, say, the back of my hair, I want the hit radius to be way bigger. I mean, honestly, it could stand to be even bigger than this, but because of where it's lied, like, I don't want to mess with it too much. Okay. Close. Da 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 da. Okay, I'm gonna test how this hair works by going here. I was checking for clipping with that. No, it's gonna be a little bit more crazy. And I think now I use Magic Cloth, which it gives me more control over the bones here. So I'm gonna want to make my bones more stiff the further away it gets from the base. So I'm gonna reverse the physics. So this long hair, it gets lighter towards the end, and this one I want to get heavier, which will give it more of a whip, like physical like trait. But for the sake of the animations looking good here, yeah, that's kind of when I grayscaled it, I was thinking of there's a VTuber who does do that very like early cartoon look. Uh, if I just type in black and white VTuber, I can find them. Yeah, Pumpkin. I'm pulling up this X post. I won't play the audio for this, but this is how they look. This is who I was thinking about whenever I was doing the grayscale. And theirs is definitely very Betty Boop, like era of cartoon coded. So they're definitely an influence here. But then the red in my cheeks and eyes is influenced by trap remixes of songs that have anime girls on them. You know, a very like sub niche genre of art. Trap remix covers. It was super popular in like 2000, I think, 18, where they'd have like a club remix, trap remix of a song, and then they'd have a black and white anime girl, and then have like a splash of color like in the cheeks and eyes. I really like the aesthetic. Yeah, I'm getting better and better at making myself look different, but somehow still the same. A large part of it has to do with my hair silhouette, but my makeup is also kind of solidifying in its style. And just my shading's getting more consistent and better. But yeah, one of the reasons why I say this time we're working mostly on the design is because I have like loose thoughts of how this is going to look at the end. I don't have a solid thought yet, especially because I'm going to be hand animating mats, which basically means I'm going to pull up OBS, record me drawing, because I'm not going to do it through your standard way, which the way that you normally would hand animate is going frame by frame. The way that I'm going to hand animate, because I want this to have a very painted, like like aesthetic to it, I'm going to use OBS to record me painting with my pen, and then I'm going to overlay me painting with my pen on the outfit. So that way it's kind of like I'm painting the outfit on live. That is the ideal, probably not reasonable expectation. Will it turn out looking like that? The world may never know. But that is the thought I have going into this. But that's why the cut of the dress and everything is kind of secondhand, because I have the idea of what I want the outfit to accomplish more than I have the idea of what the outfit's going to look like. But that's also why I ended up going with this silhouette for the dress, is because this is a very friendly thing to the idea that I have. One possible way that I figured I might do it. Let's hit edit. New layer. But this one would be harder, so I might not do it exactly like this. I'm also speed drawing this one. I don't know how to do it originally. Trying to make the tiny hands really fast. This idea comes from Soul Eater, as a side note, because of Medusa and her like arrows. That's where I'm pulling this idea from. As a cosplayer, I have so many art references because I have just a wide amount of outfits that I've cosplayed as. And I remember drawing okay, I did this and I shouldn't encourage it, but I drew Medusa's arrows using Sharpie. uh, but when you cosplay on a budget. But yeah, that's one idea. Another idea is to kind of like, I'm gonna swirl this out and then like blend it upwards and then blend it back down and then blend it upwards and then blend it back down using the finger tool. But yeah, first what I want to do is I do want to like clean this up a good bit because it's a little bit, I drew this with a mouse as a side note. Um, so my brushes are very like not great. Like there's a lot of like uneven edge to it. I think I could probably afford to do something like this as an outline, because it might look better if I do actually have an outline to this. But I kind of like to keep the white and black features separate because it has a little bit more of like a grayscale vibe. Whereas if I start adding black lining to things, it's going to have more of a comic vibe. So I wouldn't mind doing some like gray. And I just have to be careful about not having a gray that's close enough to my skin tone. And I do want to leave this kind of as stark white as possible, like a paper white. I'm just going to have a little bit of detailing to add here. So that way it looks like it makes more sense. Because one of the... Now note, if you're looking for this outfit in Soul Eater, you won't find it. I'm a very conceptual thinker. Like, let me pull up Medusa. But her spells are really cool. But I still have this cosplay outfit somewhere. But basically, they have these vectors that come off of their body and these tattoos that can also come off their body. And the arrows control the direction of gravity. Just trying to... Oh, here's a better image of what I'm talking about. But yeah, she has arrows and stakes all over her body as tattoos. She's a really cool character. Honestly, if I were to say like an anime that I feel like has aged well, it would be Soul Eater. Because I actually still really like it. And I've rewatched it, I think, 4 times, like from start to finish. I think that's how, but that's a lot for me to watch an anime that's like not a more silent anime, because I do like to watch things when I go to bed. Soul Eater's not exactly one that I can do that. If I do this for the top, it's going to look like a nude illusion. So I don't know if I can do exactly this, because it's too close to the skin tone I chose. I might have to leave it that stark white. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna cause some variation here. Oh, you know what? Same as how I'm using silver as the separating material here, I could probably use metal silver accents on this top, which will allow me to give it some shape. So let me take this, I'm gonna take it down to like this, because I still want it to be very easily selectable. I'm gonna come down to this. I want to use this to kind of give a hem. And this is going to be metallic. So it's definitely not going to look like this when finished. Okay, erase. So if I want this to come down like that. If I make this into a clip, that would probably work. So I'm going to do this, fill it out on the sides, then erase. That's going to cut back by a lot. I mostly need it to separate down here. One of the challenges I always give myself is just the fact that, like, because I know this is going to be a different metal, I do have to picture it already as that material when drawing it. Because if I don't, I'll make decisions that don't favor the material for the end step. Which is why sometimes, even though it's unnecessary, I'll do extra shading. I might want this to come up a little bit more. I'm also not sold that this is the body type I'm going to use. It's right now this because it's the most TOS friendly body type for me to be completely flat chested. But as you guys know, sometimes I have boobs and sometimes I don't. It depends on how I feel when making the model. But this one's also going to depend on another feature, which is one of the ways that I think that I might use to draw. Let me grab this. Same. Grab this. So this is one of the ways that I'm thinking of adding the ink feature. Because this way I can make it look like it's coming off the body. Grab, where is the waist? Lower back, belted. That's about where I want it to come out at. Hide. And it's possible, there's two ways that I can do it, through either hand animation or through the dissolve animation. I haven't exactly decided which way is the route I'm going to take. Dissolve would probably be easier, and it's going to be my plan B. I'm just going to use hands for now. Just as a really quick and easy thing I can draw. And note, I said draw, not draw well. Plus, I'm drawing these on a topographic map. Of course, I decide to draw them side profile, which on a straight black doesn't really work. Okay, so then I want to turn this to the side. So, side note, one of the reasons why I'm choosing this specifically is the jacket doesn't hug as close to the body as the dress does, as far as material-wise goes. So I have a little bit more control over, like, distance from the body. which allows me to have a little bit more of a fancy. Oh, hey, look, it's an AI art hand. Oh, wait. Now it's AI art. Uh, correct that. Oh, that's actually kind of a neat design. What if I do like this and make it like a bladed tail, like some like anime dragons have? I could also directly use vectors. As as a side note, this is 100% how, if I don't have an image in mind that I'm making, this is how it turns out. Is I just kind of like Rorschach it. I start with like a silhouette and just kind of see and add to it until I like feel like it looks good. Okay. The other reason why I'm thinking of doing hands that go up the chest and towards the neck is because of the fact that the Warframe is kind of horror themed. So one of the things that like I found out is that I'm way better at working with negative space than positive space, which is why you'll see me oftentimes put down really thick and then erase back and then put down really thick again. It's because I found that I'm better at taking things away than I am adding them. As like for my creative process at least. I think it leads to perspective of this hand I'm thinking way too much about. I do think thumb should be on the inside of the hand though, not outside. Okay, let's start from scratch on the hand. So thumb should be going inwards like this. And then the next finger, and the next finger, next finger, next finger. And it's going to be very warped on the model, but that's fine. Because we're just thinking of ideas here. Me, like, so the idea is twist the arms. So I'm like, to my own neck, like, how would this look? Okay. I'm gonna try bringing it up a bit. and just try to replicate how it looks on my own body. Because that's gonna maybe make this easier. So I'd want to do it right before my thumbs cross back, but it meets about here. Okay. So if it's meeting at about here, I'm gonna draw like that. These look like tiny Muppet hands. The ghost is very young. I do want to animate these hands. Because I'm either going to do it one way or a different way. Logically speaking, that's the only way you could do it, one way or another way. But and yes, these arms are bent the wrong way. Because I do want this to kind of look like self, like coming from my body, flipping around, Wicked Witch. Or like their shadows doing a reach around. I do it like this. Delete. One of the dresses that I'm thinking about, this is how it's done, is that the hands are used just to cup the chest area. But I'm wanting to be more spoopy with it. So I want my hands to go up. That looks a little bit better. And I could also use like a model for this, like a 3D model. It is the dark touch. Like whenever I think of doing this, I do splay my fingers out more. And that's probably part of the issue, is that I'm trying to have my fingers kind of more, I'm cupping the hands instead of splaying out the fingers, which is how they should be. I don't think many people do it the other way. Oh, and in case you're wondering how I'd hand animate this, multiple layers. One layer with it already drawn, other layer with it undrawn, erase, add, and then like erase and then undo. Now, I wish I could use my Clip Studio tools in this, but I can't. So let's have this come straight up and see if this makes it easier. Draw the base of the hand. Honestly, the pinky gives me the most trouble. I'm also having to think about it topographically on top of everything else. I want this to be shadowy still. And then I'm gonna erase. Draw. Erase. That kind of accomplishes the thing I want to. Oh, that's what I was just talking about. Also, to note, when I do, this is me testing out a look. Let me erase this completely. Hide this. Exit. And I just had this thought when you mentioned, when I read your message. I take a picture of this model. Poses and animations. Posing. Reset. We're going to lower the arms just a little bit. I want to use standing up straight. And I've done this a few times in the past. Take this picture and then go to, oh, not that. Clip Studio, draw, file, open, new tab. I'm gonna take a huge pool of black and I'm gonna use paint. Hide this layer. I need to pull up the black down here. Reveal. And then I'm gonna take fingertip. This is more how it's gonna animate. But more with a single stroke, so let me redo that. The hands are partially just to act as like a little bit of a way for me to visualize it in this pre-step. Let's try a smaller brush. Ooh, I might actually like it to be bigger fingers. Even then, I don't think it's gonna truly be fingers at the end of the day. Just because like a hand's gonna be really hard for me to do a full animation for. More than likely, what I'll end up going for is closer to what was first put down, which is kind of just like dragging it up. Because I have a few ideas for the animation. So what I'm wanting to do is kind of test things out. Because the easiest animation for me to do would to not be drag it all the way up, but to be kind of do like this, and then pull it back down, and then kind of have it come up and back down, so that way it's easier to loop. So that would probably be the best thing for me to do. And for the gloves, I'm thinking of having it be partial transparency, but I haven't quite sold myself on the idea for the gloves yet. I debated making this strap like diamond. But yeah, because my skin is gray, I do think I need to leave this dark white. And I do also believe I might need a little bit of something in the chest area for this dress to look right. Not a lot, but like something there. Body. Just to fill out that area so it doesn't look so flat. And by flat, I mean like in a negative space kind of way. Something like that. And I might even want my oh, I might click shoulder size. Bring my shoulders a little bit wider too. I think that looks good. Because, like, so plan D, if I can't get a lot of things to work, is just for it to be a pretty outfit with minimal animation to it. But like I said, that's our last of our line of our plans. We much rather get some really cool animation out of this. Um, Another thing I want to do, I'm going to use probably like a rain GIF for this. Create new. We want a foxtail. I'm going to keep this straight. Switch this to black. So the foxtail is actually my secret tool for dress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this foxtail as a map So that way I can have ink dripping from the dress in a very planned and pathed out way. So let's make the still a lot thicker. And so each of these strands is going to be have ink falling from the dress. So let's go ahead and increase this out like this. And I probably want to move it a little bit closer to the back. Resize. I want it to be thick. And it doesn't have to go all the way to the floor. And then curl tip fur, curl overall fur. I'm going to set this to 200 because I want this to go really far out. Toss all the hair. Remove. No, we want to keep that. But yeah, I'm going to have this be ink that's coming off of the outfit. Because otherwise this would be very difficult to have this. And so the reason for it to be all black is when I switch this to, like, say if I want to do like an additive property, I can have this be erased. I can also just erase it, but I need the texture to stay there. So it's probably best for me to leave it like this. And I'm just gonna fill in these with black because I don't need the tip to be covered. Now, if I do this, if I have them in certain positions, it's not going to look right. Unless I make this a lot thinner. But yeah, I'm going to have basically a rain GIF that affects the alpha of this black tail. And this is going to be ink coming out off the outfit. Because I really want to see some kind of ink coming, like, either as projection or something. I don't know exactly how I would accomplish it on the gloves outside of particle effect, but where I cannot use a particle effect, I don't want to, because particle effects, I for one have to attach physically in Wordo, and then two, do increase the load of the model, and the goal is to have the model like not have that high of a load. Also, particle effects work best with additive properties, so I want to reduce the spots I put it in because we're working a lot with leaning towards black as the like added material. Come back to this. Now this is not gonna look right as long as I'm in Wordo. So we're gonna make this invisible once we place it where it needs to go. because I can change how this animates in Unity, but here it's going to animate like a tail. So if I have you do animations, where's the spinning kick? It might be in animations 1. Actually, that's animating a little bit like a dress. I mean, especially if the dress is liquid. It's partially because of the delay that it has in the animation. Only thing that looks terrible is like this little bottom spot. Because of like it turning into like that little like it turning in on itself. Okay, exit. Okay, I want to go to twisting might be a good idea. I'm not sold on it yet. Don't think I need it to be like that. I want to see what's causing that to look like that. Where it's like curved like that. Because I definitely want it to be more straight like that is. Let's see. That's this curve. Do you think I need it to curve with this? Like that. Just to make some corrections to it. One of the other things is that I kind of want it to hit the ground, but I know that to hit the ground, it's gonna cause other issues. And because this is an animation map, it doesn't need to like follow the standard gown rules, which is for it to hit the ground. But yeah, that's an animation map, for me at least. Not an actual foxtail. Because at the bare minimum, this will allow me to have some cool feature to the end product. So that way, even if my other stuff that I want to do doesn't work out, I have this as an eye catcher. Because I always like my models to have some kind of statement piece to them. I want to see how this looks whenever spin. Okay, that's a bit better. But yeah, that's gonna be ink flowing off the dress. And I have multiple ways to accomplish that goal. I think I need to cut this back a little bit. And I want an animation for up top. I just don't know what that animation is. It might mostly be the brush here. And it might do some special kind of reverse ink flow right here. We might end up exporting this model with way more polygon usage than what's actually going to be used. Mostly just so I can try out different animations. How many polygons are they using right now? Because I'd consider this the base polygon count. And we'll see how many extra features we can add on to it here that we can play with in Unity. 7,000. Okay, so I could add probably a couple more clothing items without like causing any issues. So I could probably add like either 3 jackets, which are great for mapping out effects on the top side, or like 2 dresses. The dresses require more polygons because they bend in more spots. I don't think I edited the shape of this dress at all, which I do need to do. The makeup is, I think, how I want it for the most part, other than I'm going to change the eyeshadow right there. Okay, tops. Go ahead and delete this. Length. Hem flare. Skirt flare. Laser sharks. That sounds dangerous. I wonder what their ecological impact is. And a negative 20 size waist. Eh. You heard a 00, but what about negative? Which does not do well for this back piece, but I can figure that out. Ooh, what, because this is gonna be ink, I could do skin mask. Erase, oh, not erase, black. Go to this. And we're gonna take this section. Erase right here. I'm gonna like basically do that. Besides, I'll need to like erase this area anyways, because like just in case of clipping, I always erase this area. That way, if I'm ever like flagged, I can be like, nope, look, it's impossible. Same. I will say, I think it actually might be more accurate to give dolphins lasers, and that would be way more terrifying. Because dolphins are one of the only other like species that really kills for. Oh no, cats do it too. There's not many animals that kill for fun. But dolphins and cats are definitely on that list. Why did you do it? Because I was bored. I wasn't even hungry. But I don't think sharks would really. I mean, honestly, sharks are pretty chill. I swam with dolphins once, and that was fun. It was back when they used to have those programs where you could do the training with dolphins, but it's like signing up, like the training for the performances. I have done many side quests. Honestly, 90% of my life has been a side quest. Okay, we have added a skin mask to the mid-waist area. Close. Let's go to face paint. Edit face paint. Okay, this section, I'm gonna grab this color. And I need a new layer. Mirror. Because this is my normal face grayscale, there's some weird parts about the makeup that I just have to fix. I just want to cut this and make it look a little bit more natural. It's weird that like if I do that, okay, there it goes. Let's say, why is that not like coming out as dark as I wanted it to? Okay, I might go to the eyelid area. I want to make this black. Face paint. Blur. Skin. Actually, I might leave it like this. Take this one. It's gonna lower the opacity. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that is correct. Also, the whole fish get bigger with the tank is a myth. It's the fact that fish with a smaller tank get stressed that it stunts their growth. It's actually stress that's making them smaller, not the tank size. So it's technically not a myth, but it is. Similar to like if you wrap feet, they stop growing. No, that they're just deformed. They were still very much trying to grow. I think that is good for this. Now I just need to rack my brain about like what else I need to do to like liven it up here. Though it also could just be simple. It's okay to have some simple designs that don't have too much accessorizing to them. Because like a simple, clean black and white model is probably more fitting of the black and white color palette, especially because of the other things I want to do, which means that I'm gonna add like probably one jacket and one dress to this that I like leave fully filled out and then like make them invisible in Unity so that way I can just add some slight other things. But other than that, I think I could probably move this more towards the next stage. I love how weird this looks, but just knowing that that's more of a map than it is actually going to look like it is in the final product. Which is also the reason why I don't have it going to the ground like I do in the ghost dress. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I can show an example of how I've used that fox tail as a dress before, because that's what makes up the bottom half of my ghost model. Oop. Uh, do, do, do. The bottom dress of this model is a foxtail. That's why I got like this Cinderella poofiness to it. And I don't make enough gowns. Partially because you don't see the bottom half of a gown, but like, it's a cool effect. And I basically just shave off the tip of the foxtail. And then I put like a jacket on underneath it to kind of fill out and make it to where it's not fully see-through. The makeup on this model is okay. It could be better. But we get better with time, especially in categories like this. I do like this model though. I like my Halloween series of models. Where? Oh, you know what? Where is it? I'm just gonna switch to this one because we're gonna be switching to gaming here after I take a quick restroom break. Be right back. Oh, you know what? I never use it. I have a fully animated BRB screen that I never use. I just tend to walk away, but be right back. I'll leave you with the actual animated screen though. Oop. Have to relaunch my face tracker. I'm coming back. I want you all to know. Whoa. Okay. Which means I have to recalibrate. And thank you, gaming archaeologist. Calibrate. And we are calibrated. Okay, time to save this progress, and we're gonna switch to doing a game. I was gonna go straight to World of Warcraft, but I haven't done my dailies yet in Wuthering Waves, so we're gonna first do our Wuthering Waves dailies, and then we're gonna switch on over to World of Warcraft. I want the world to know. We're probably just gonna like do dungeons. Because that's what I'm feeling. I hope everyone's day is going good so far. As I wait for this to save, exit this other thing. Don't save, because I don't need to save that. Up. Have to relog into my account. Okay. Minimize. Wuthering Waves first. And then World of Warcraft next. But we're just doing our dailies, so we're not going to be too long in Wuthering Waves. There we go. I'm so proud of myself for sorting out my desktop a little bit. I still need to organize the textures and stuff. I think there's a slight playback. Okay. Life scene. Yep. Live scene for a few seconds. It'll be fine. It's relaunching. Oh, you know what? Because we're doing this, what is the model that's closest in name? You know, we haven't used this one in a hot second. So I think I'm a little small. There we go. The eyes on this model are really cool. Oh yeah, it's my like biohazard eyes. I haven't done as much because like they're hard to see from a distance. They kind of just look like they're shattered glass. Uh, oh yeah, I'm not used to not seeing like a heart on the tongue. This was before I put the heart there. So like 4 months ago, which feels like forever. I just like this one more. You know. Dog. Oh yeah, I can't pet this one. I can pet them in the new zone. And let's go do our daily. Loving music. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about you. Do 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 do. Oh, I'm silly. I should definitely be using my Seguica model, as it's the newest one for Wuthering Waves. I think I didn't think about it because, like, it's not fully Wuthering Waves coded. Oh.
Faster than a rabbit.
I'm having some delay things. Make sure this is on Direct 12. Or Direct 11, because there's just a slight, like, bit of lag.
Faster than a rabbit.
Yeah, I'm gonna reload. Because that lag that's there shouldn't be there. Okay. Not just Direct 11. Start. Because that was gonna be annoying, because I was gonna fight something from part of my daily. And that occasional frame lag would have been like, it would have got me killed, but it would have just, like, been really jarring. Okay. Oops. Live scene. There we go. I have a few different scenes set for different recordings. Start. There we go. I think I had to make this model a little bit lower because of the antlers that come and go. That's better.
Gently.
There's still some slight weirdness to the graphics, but I love that daily is just talk to a person. I probably should do this one. Let's see. I should have a quest. Complete a tacit field 5 times. Okay. Oh, I guess you can clear either one. There's one right outside here.
Faster than a rabbit.
Ooh, team. Only thing I don't like about this team is the fact that it doesn't have a healer.
The storyteller will end up being part of the story as well.
Faster than a rabbit.
I was about to head in the wrong direction. That being said, it's fine.
Greet my friends. Heed the echoes. Witness blossoms in wind.
Listen, the trio of destiny.
Leave this riddle to know what explosion means. Detonate! Huh? Value. Greet my friends. Straight to the stars. Ouch! That hurts. Big cannon. Boom! Cannon. Cool your head. Cannon. Oblivion, symphony of life. It's ready.
Oh, people, no one hardly took any damage. So that worked out. Also, there's a thing over here.
Are we there yet?
Claim all. Claim all. I guess the other one is still that I have to do things to get it. An A! AZ man. We just finished working on our model, working on part of the base design. I'll probably have to program the effects, independently, because I have to pull up OBS and everything. I have not seen the WF. I've seen the Do at Night Abyss hacks. But I did not see any of the Warframe hacks. I assume that's what you mean by WF.
Are we there yet?
Okay. So I did those. If I want to finish the other daily, I'd have to spend like 180. So like a forgery challenge. Proceed. Same. I had the very few like Latin phrases I know are carpe diem and Deus ex machina. And Deus ex machina, I don't even know what it directly translates to. I just know it's like the Excalibur of a story, the thing that like just fixes everything.
Symphony of life. Greet my friends. Know what explosion means? Just a tiny.
Also, apparently I built this girl wrong. Apparently you're supposed to build her for just straight crit damage almost. Ooh. I've seen that happen to Genshin before, where people hacked it and were joining other people's worlds in multiplayer.
Greet my friends. Can I keep going like this? It doesn't define me. Do keep up.
Excuse you?
A perfect chord. Let the show
Just for that.
begin. Let me. Greet my
No, but that's wild. I'm also surprised by the Warframe hack. I know they do it because they're stupid and like they haven't grown out of the like I need attention stage of life, but people hacking games just like, especially games that are so player friendly like Warframe, gross. Like, grow up. Same. I have most of the main story completed. I think I don't know if they'd come out with more main story on the 25th or just the new Warframe. And I can't help it if I am an aesthetics-based gamer. If WoW didn't have the housing system it did, its graphics would 100% knock me out of playing it. I wish I could set that to my glider. This little guy.
faster than a rabbit.
So what it might have been, there are some people who consider themselves ethical hackers, and I wonder if it might be because that group had like bad security. Because that's the only thing I can think of.
Mind the tempo.
Now, there are some people who actually are ethical hackers, But there's lots of people who consider themselves ethical hackers. But a lot of the people who think that they're ethical hackers haven't actually read anything about ethics. And I'm like, so what's the ethical part? It seems like you're doing it more because you're bored, which isn't the basis of ethics. Just personally saying. Like, but that's just in my IT opinion. Oh my god, same. It couldn't be a worse time though for them to get hacked. Because they're about to have like their major patch with the new Warframe come out. I love these little clones.
Perfect wrap up.
But yeah, I do think that there's some people who don't quite understand the true meaning of being an ethical hacker. It doesn't mean you just hack anyone and everyone just for the fun of it. Typically, you're supposed to help the people fix the vulnerability that they have. Not just point it out. Because some people's protection from hacking is just by not being a target. And sometimes you put a target on their back by just exposing vulnerabilities. Because not everyone has the finances to hire someone who can fix that kind of thing.
Just like a bird.
I wonder if I'll take damage if I fall from here. As long as I bound attack. Nope. They start adding some characters have immunity frames when doing a ground pound, which I appreciate.
Gently.
Especially when they have an animation for their ground land. And this character falls from the sky when she's introduced. So it'd be really weird if she took fall damage.
Gently. Huh?
This is how I'm getting from point A to point B from now on.
Gently.
Good. I like the motorcycle more than I thought I would.
Leave this riddle to me.
I'm driving back to the city just because, yeah. And then I'll probably switch over to not Warframe, but World of Warcraft. I will say, when I know a game has an active hack, I am less likely to log on to it during that time and wait till I hear from, like, the devs. Just so that way, if, say, something bad happens to my account, I can verify it wasn't me. Especially seeing how a lot of the games I get on while I'm live. So I'm like, I wasn't live at that time. It couldn't have been me. Because when I'm not, like, playing games, I'm either doing work or, like, working on models or something. Back to me close up. And we're gonna exit this. And I gotta switch my category on Twitch. World of Warcraft. Which I have enjoyed playing more than I thought I would. It helps that they have the housing as an overarching like thing for me to work towards. I want to get enough housing items so that way I can do a like just one large housing stream where I just fully decorate it during that housing stream. But I don't really have that much like furniture currently. So I'm working on gathering up furniture. Eh. You know, technically, this model works for World of Warcraft 2 because there are high elves. I'm not playing high elf, but they do exist. I'm probably going to play my druid, so we'll switch to my druid model. Afternoon I blew around my room before you came. Excuse the mess it made. It usually doesn't bloom in Southern California, much like California. Da 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 da. Dooby dooby doo. Hi, it's me, Poison, and I'm on my druid model. Interworld. Oh yeah, I think I muted World of Warcraft last time I was playing it because I was watching like YouTube. Shake the Venus flytraps. The game's loading up, but as a side note. Options. Audio. The music is back. But yeah, last I was doing is I'm pretty much just like gathering resources while queuing for dungeons. Nice. Everything sold. Okay. I'm gonna switch. Oh, I should repair my gear first, actually. Because my gear is damaged.
Are you planning a purchase?
Sell all junk. Repair all items.
Return.
What are you looking for? Safe travels.
Goodbye. And I spend all my time in like my transformed state. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Talents, specialization, restoration. I'm not flying. I am a tree. Activate. Revitalization. Life bloom stacks every 5 seconds. Oh, this actually is why it's been super easy to heal. Let's see. There it is. I'm gonna do random dungeon as a healer. Typically, I don't have to look for long. Yeah, it says less than a minute. I'm gonna stay in an area that's fairly, like, not dangerous. Just because while it's cute, I'm gonna search around for like items and tree lumber. Enter! And I'll wait by the beach. I'm doing these partially to get furniture.
Do as you like. Just make sure it's entertaining. Let the combat begin!
Okay. Oh, the tank's really strong. I probably don't have to focus on healing. Yay! I'm a big tree. No, I do love this tree form.
Show me more of
Oh, it's this one.
I've been seeing. Chittagong should be a perfect warm-up. Show me your value.
Oh no, bugs. And yoink.
Frutalk, show them why you like that.
Did that look like I smited it? Can I target this? Oh, I can. I didn't realize I could immobilize the turtle. That's good to know. Yeah, I probably don't need to heal anyone during this fight.
My newest toy, Azra. This will be a fight to remember. You cannot
I don't feel like it will be if I do remember.
cannot let this defeat you.
Whoops, did not mean to go into bear form.
So you won.
Yay!
Come, busy yourself while I prepare Atroxus for your next fight. I expect you to at least provide him with some good exercise.
I've been feared. I wonder why we're going this way. Normally I go the other way. Also, I don't know what the other guy's doing to get so hurt. I don't want to get targeted. I think that actually was the better way to go. I don't know if they want to be half health or something, but they are regularly half health.
Be witness to my atroxus. I expect you to at least provide him with some good exercise. Careful of those flashes. Time to cover your ears. Careful of those flashes.
That was fast.
Delectable.
I got a weapon.
Magnificent! What a performance! Come, let me show you something more fun.
I don't know why this. I do think I'm at the gear level at this. Oop. I thought I was about to get hurt way worse when I heard that splatter effect. Ooh, those are cool. I guess you shouldn't take those. But they looked so cool. They're like little music bubbles. Oh, I think our person's... They must have accidentally pulled something. The WoW community is pretty nice. Like, I've never been yelled at. Even when one time, where I probably should have been yelled at. Because the tank had to just, like, do the entire thing by themselves. But yeah, everyone's been really nice to me. I will say though, I've experienced a lot of people being nice in like not Final Fantasy, in MMOs, ever since MMOs started bleeding players. People haven't been as mean since that period. But also, I do like regular content. Like, I don't do, like, hardcore stuff. So that could also feed into why people are nice. Because sometimes it's the hardcore stuff that's a little bit more, like, sweaty. Up. Someone's pet pulled these. Oh my god. I was just helping the other person. I mean, I think that's the worst it gets, is passive-aggressive pings. That aren't even really that aggressive. Like, definitely way more passive than aggressive.
Pardon the time. I needed to ready myself for battle.
I will say I got locked out of this fight last time.
Will I keep you waiting?
Because they started the fight way too fast. Oh, way to go. The boss just disappeared.
You can't keep making things invisible.
I don't know how I do it. Every time I play an MMO, I make something invisible. Maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe we're killing it too fast. It said there's no way you're doing that. I know that tank's like taking no damage. Like, I don't know how we're actually like killing the bosses so fast. But we are. Decor? I need it. Lemon. How dare you, Lemon? No, somehow, if I'm playing an MMO, I'll make important things invisible. And I'd say I make them, but it's like a bug. No, I think it is because they were clearing it too fast. I don't know how they were clearing it so fast, though. But they were doing a ton of damage really quickly. Last I left my owl. Okay. So this is a one-handed. And it's only slightly better. What's my offhand? That's a mace. I need an offhand. I have good gear, I just can't wear it because I'm too low level. I like that this lasts 60 minutes.
I can't use that. I can't use that.
Oh, nice. I get a Bex reward, a Void Satchel, for doing random Q as long as I'm a healer. Bonus reward for healers! Yay! I'm gonna be doing my civic duty. Yay, I am doing my civic duty as a healer. Into the sky. Victory sunburn. I'm not gonna do it again. I flew too close to the sun earlier and it killed me.
Lightbloom Athran is overgrown. Help my Farstriders tame the area.
I'd rather not, actually. Your first raiders can handle it themselves. That doesn't seem like a me problem. This seems safe. I'm hidden. I don't know what the bonus is. Is the gold the bonus, or is that satchel the bonus? Okay, this tank is not nearly as geared. Oops, switch to healing. We seem to be attracting the presence of many things. On the bright side for him, I love focus healing. So I have no problem whenever it comes to that. Like, you want someone who constantly heals? I am definitely the target person. I play healer because I like to heal. I don't want to use my damage spells. That's kind of why I like the evoker. Like the DPS that's like not really a DPS that like buffs other DPS, because I want to just kind of support people. Yeah, I like to push people into fights. I will say, I have no idea how everyone else is getting so hurt. Like, what are they doing? I don't blame the tank at all either.
Who be letting Alazi's little kittens go?
I am slow. Um. I don't know what was happening there. This is a lot of pulled stuff. Tree form, go! Oh wait. So I put my hands up to play my song, the butterflies fly away. Is this useful? No, but it's fun. This thing is so big. Not in my head like, yeah.
Someone grab my axe.
It's okay that with how the aggro is being shared, I have a feeling you won't need the axe. Also, Rez, do you know how you get rid of that menu that says leave party? I have no idea how I pulled it out. Oh no, I've been made tiny.
The arrow on the right of the box. It's in the middle.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you. I'm thinking I'm actually teaching this DPS really bad mechanics because I'm saving him from standing in the DPS fire. He's not moving at all, and I just keep on healing him. I do love how entanglement looks, which is why I keep on casting it. It's not useful. Oh, it's a shortcut. Neat.
What be this, Necrax? Fresh spray? Where the blood flow?
And I'll go ahead and heal everyone from the fall damage. If someone could remove this aggro from me.
Take them down, Necrax.
Come, my trees. The DPS are standing in the AoEs again.
You walk. Take them, Necrax.
Oh no, I've been rooted. Wait, I'm a tree. That shouldn't affect me. I'm always rooted.
With me, Necrax. Right on target. Necrax, fly. Where the blood flow.
I'm gonna reposition myself.
Right into my trap. Necrax! Necrax! No!
Necrax, yes!
You're gonna pay for that!
Hey! I received a weapon. I do believe I have a slow fall spell, but I don't think it matters.
A good kill, Hashura, and I rescued
I
all that was
leveled.
still alive. But why
Oh,
did
this begins a
Murashima
quest.
bring them here? The kidnapping won't
Why
stop
do I keep on
until
getting
we get to the root
things
of
for the
it.
Dark Fair Moon?
Follow me. That not be natural, and the energy flowing into it. This is hex magic, using the souls of the dead in powerful magic spells. I hope this is not why they brought my kin here.
Yay! Aw. I never get to ride the pony. No, I do like using my like big cooldowns almost on cooldown, just because like so many people save them and then end up never using them. Especially in like these lower tier dungeons. Like everyone's taking damage. I'm gonna use Tranquility. I was supposed to say, I need them to get out of the AoE so I can not have to heal them.
I need to get closer. It's too far away.
It'd be worse than we thought. How many of my people have died here?
I like that these people know the shortcuts. No. I have been rooted. Currently, I'm in the dungeon. I'll probably do that after stream. Darn you! Gridlock! I was gridlocked by gridlock. Tree form.
Seeing you hovering over rebirth. I love just getting ready for him to die.
Same. I was thinking that there's a good chance he was going to die. I love that these people are using the like sneak around as much as possible. My little T-Rex arms. Oh, whoops. I need to not be in this form. Tranquility. I got the last hit. Therefore, I did everything. Ooh. Look at my mushrooms are leaving all over the place. Oh, they're just gonna go fight this one. Okay. Starfire.
What's she doing? She's rending the souls, twisting them.
I hate fighting on
feeding
the
them to
stairs.
that
I hope they don't
monster.
make me fight on the stairs.
There are souls still that we can save. You confront her, I gonna release all the souls I can find.
Okay. This tank isn't as built as the other one I had, but they're not terribly built either. Weird part to me is like normally I can see where the hurt person is, but this time, like I don't know where they're standing that they're getting hurt. But yeah, I would like to know how these people are dying. Like, I know there's an AoEs here, but there's not that many AoEs.
What's this? New souls for my experiments?
Your soul be forfeit.
Last time I got locked out of this dungeon, and I had to heal from a distance. But it did let me heal from a distance. Which I'm not used to, because normally, like, I think in Final Fantasy it blocks out the heals completely.
Make them suffer. I'm gonna poison your soul.
I would rather not be poisoned.
You're gonna be tormented from beyond the grave.
Tranquility. Live forever.
Andakatas no shada. Kezulo namrakan. Nehide. Nehide. Enough! You cannot stand against a vile branch.
I think I'm supposed to stand in those.
This affliction hit hard.
Wild growth. Tree time.
Make them suffer. Ma'ako, ma'ako, ka, shada! You accomplished nothing. Rak'tul will still rise. She's dead, but her evil lives on. There'll still be many angry souls. I will keep them busy and keep them from feeding the monster. But the monster be up to you.
Do, 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 do. I'll go ahead and just top you off. No, I find it funny that our tank is like taking very little damage compared to this one DPS. Like I almost need to focus on him more than the tank. Oh, he's even in range DPS at that. That's extremely weird. How are you getting hurt from a range? How are you getting hurt from outside the club?
Keep your chat low.
What? Same. I still think it's weird that you're dying from dot damage. Because I didn't die as a thing. And I'm not dispelling it on me either. I still would say that I would out heal the dot damage. Unless the dot damage prevents healing.
Be careful. He seems powerful and unstable.
I don't know what applies the dot damage, but I guess I just have never been hit by it, which is weird. And also, only one person was dying from it, so it must have only hit that one person every time.
Get my hands on ya! Flatten ya!
Oop. I saw the path from him. So he died outside, I'm guessing. Because I don't see his body.
Rip your soul out!
Uh... Maybe I'll see him now. My battle list back up. I don't see the way through.
With the creature dead and
96.
the vibrant gone, we with the bark all
Yay.
sleeping a little safer. For now. We will always be looking over our shoulders at the Vile Branch. Come back with me. The chief be having a reward for you.
Oh, and a piece of gear. Yay! See, if I was in the wrong, then the game wouldn't reward me.
Something else creepy to put in the yard.
I couldn't be in the wrong because the game rewarded me with 2 drops of gear and furniture. It said, no, baby, you it could never be you. I also maintain healers and tanks are never in the wrong. It's always a DPS main's fault. You get problems on your taxes, it's a DPS fault. You get laid off from work, some DPS main probably did it to you. See, I will just, like, my other thing was the fact that, like, because I was constantly healing, and I saw them standing in AoEs, I was like, no, certainly, they're just standing in too many AoEs. Because they were also taking excess damage. Because I've never had the dot damage kill anything in that dungeon before. And that's now my 5th time healing it. Because they certainly should not have been dying. I could see it maybe if we were in a harder level. But not on the level that we were at.
Again. Save what light wood you can find and hit them
But
back hard. I
did just check the time, and it does look like we are getting ready to wrap up the stream here. Same. You know, it is possible that the DPS did their better thing during the other runs. But I will say, oftentimes as the healer, I consider my main job to keep the tank alive, myself alive, and then just like occasionally throw heals to the DPS. No, because I will say it was weird to having them take so much damage that time. Because out of all the runs, I'm like... Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. Because I saw them stand in AoEs, that is ultimately the reason why I wasn't too worried about whatever they were saying in chat. Because I'm like, if you're standing in AoEs, I can't really do much about that. Especially if you start pulling too many resources from the tank. I need to make more of these. Ooh. That's not too bad, craft-wise. Oh, that's really... It looks like all of them have like the same 5, 10, 10. Yeah. The only thing that changes is the amount of lumber required. But yeah, let me switch to me close-up. Okay, I'd like to take this time to say thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thank you to everyone who hit the follow button. I appreciate all of you, and if you just came by to come say hi, thank you. I greatly appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you all in future streams. Bye for now, and see you next time. which I might be doing a bonus stream tomorrow because we didn't stream Friday. So make sure you are following me on X and Bluesky to stay up to date, because you never know if I might go live at a special time.